As we all know, Lionel Messi is unquestionably amongst the greatest players to ever grace the pitch, and simply put, he is God's gift to modern football. Sharing the stage at the sport's apex for almost 20 years now, the younger generations recognise him as one of the two GOATs, about whom more has been written, discussed and argued than any other footballing rivalry to date. The Argentine spent most of his life with FC Barcelona, growing up from a wonder kid of La Masia to the star boy of La Liga, and it's in the Catalan capital where the atomic Flea rose to prominence. As with CR7, it's hard to single out a particular season as his peak, but for Leo, there is one stretch that really stands out. The year was 2012, and the Blaugrana were on top of the world. Guardiola had just guided them to a second Champions League title in 3 years, and the Catalans were now established in the company of the best club sides in history. Carlos Puyol had lifted all but the Copa del Rey by the summer of 2011, and after conceding a second European Cup to them, Sir Alex Ferguson dubbed this Barcelona the best side he'd ever faced. Coached in tiki-taka, the revered Spanish midfield controlled the tempo, while the number 10, who had begun to take up a central role by the end of the 2000s, drifted around at the tip of the diamond ready to pounce. Naturally, his playmaking qualities improved under Pep, and the Argentines started to show glimpses of being a creative number 8, a scoring number 9, and providing 10, styles he had combined in the 2010-11 campaign to record his greatest tally yet, 53 goals in 55 matches. By the new year of 2012, the top flight had already seen him convert another 17 league goals, and the man from Rosario showed no sign of slowing down. Just 4 days into the year, Messi opened his post-Christmas account against Osasuna in the Copa del Rey, his final goals before, on the 9th, the 24-year-old collected his third consecutive Ballon d'Or to equal the record, and by this point he was already considered an all-time great. A week passed before he slotted a brace past Betis at the Nou Camp, followed up by a triple in Malaga to close out January, his fourth hat-trick so far this season. In mid-February, the Flea played his 200th La Liga game, answering Valencia's opener with 4 of his own, but that was child's play compared to his achievement 2 weeks later. Hosting Bayer Leverkusen, Messi took 25 minutes to find the back of the net for the first of a 5-goal haul he bagged that night in Barca's 7-1 demolition of the Germans. With these strikes, he accomplished the unprecedented, becoming the first player ever to score 5 in a single Champions League game. Off the back of his decisive free kick to overcome Atletico Madrid inside the Calderón, the little genius embarked on an absurd goal-scoring streak, lasting 8 matches, during which he stacked up 13 goals. Featured amongst this bunch was one of his career's most special, against Sevilla, and yet another hat-trick to break the 57-year record of Cesar Rodriguez and become the highest goalscorer in Barcelona's history. Legends such as Romario, Kluivert and Eto'o had borne the number 9 of the blue and red strip, yet this diminutive lefty, who had only recently moved inwards from the wing, trumped their numbers before his 25th birthday, and he wasn't done there. With the help of Messi's 2 penalties versus AC Milan, Barca progressed into the semis of the UCL, where they met a vengeful Chelsea seeking justice for their dubious 09 exit. A first blight to his record came in the second leg, striking the crossbar from 6 yards to hand the Blues a winning ticket to Munich. Hosting the El Clasico in late April, the exceptional Messi run finished, as to the audience of 100,000 inside Camp Nou, Los Blancos stole all 3 points in a match that would ultimately determine the champions. A 7-goal flattening of Real Vallecano in Madrid ensued, to which Messi contributed a couple himself, and provided another 3 ahead of his 7th hat-trick that season, which Malaga suffered again. Guardiola announced that this would be his final season as manager of Barca, declaring his resignation as the most accomplished coach in the club's history, with a record of 13 trophies in 4 seasons. It had been under the former skipper that Leo had blossomed, and for the home leg of the Derby Barcelona, Messi proved his gratitude, putting away all 4 goals to brush aside Espanyol and take his tally to 50 in La Liga, the most any player has ever recorded in the leading division of Spain. A closing goal came the Argentines' way as the second of the Catalans' 3-goal triumph over Bilbao for their 26th Copa del Rey and 4th trophy since August. For most clubs, this would be acknowledged as a successful campaign. However, Barcelona had set high standards considering the talent at their fingertips, and so their failure to retain either the league or the Big Ears made 11-12 a disappointing stint. Real Madrid were irrepressible under Jose Mourinho, becoming the first ever Spanish side to rack up 100 points and breaking both the scoring and winning records along the way. Concluding the contest 9 points clear of Barca, Los Blancos secured the title for the first time in a painful 4 years. Messi had pipped Ronaldo by 4 goals in the league to clinch the Pichichi and European Golden Shoe awards, and moreover, his 73 in all competitions exceeded Gerd Müller's 67, which had been the European record for a single season since 1973. It wasn't just at club level the maestro shone. In June, Messi completed another hat-trick with a jaw-dropper in the Battle of the Americas friendly against rivals Brazil. Upon his return to Catalonia, Francesc Tito Vilanova was promoted from assistant to head coach in Guardiola's stead, a man Messi knew well, having been coached by him while a teen of the academy, and amidst the doubt around this new era, Barca started superbly. From September to the new year, they only dropped points on 1 occasion, drawing to the champions, and by amassing 55 points, set a record in Spain for the highest ever achieved by the midway point of the season. The Argentine was again their talisman, already registering 28 league goals by their 20th fixture, and in this period, Messi again overtook Müller's historic 1972 tally, making the forward the record scorer inside a calendar year. He'd added to this ludicrous count by the 1st of January, reaching 91 goals from 69 games for Barcelona and Argentina in 2012, a 7% increase upon the German's 40-year personal best. Barcelona and their extraterrestrial number 10 went on to dominate La Liga, not only guaranteeing the title 3 weeks early, but never falling from their top spot, sustaining merely 2 defeats in the 9 months. Now the first ever 4-time Ballon d'Or winner, Messi's numbers were again almost inconceivable, keeping a successive goal-scoring run in the league for 5 whole months, finding the back of the net 30 times in 19 games. These are the sort of numbers that should only be confined to the youth level, but Messi was making a mockery of a top 5 league. The Blaugrana matched Real Madrid's Centurion season just 1 year after them, with Messi their tactical focal point. Sharing the front line with any two of David Villa, Pedro and Alexis Sanchez, the South American would drop into the midfield to pick up the ball from his false 9 position and take control in the enganche role. With Xavi and Iniesta to feed him, Vilanova had adopted a punishing formula, coming in a phase when Messi's electric dribbling, direct running and clinical finishing was at its peak, enabling him to score every type of goal. Surrounded by a proven team by whom he was liberated, and with utmost focus on his game, he achieved an incredible feat that even Ronaldo, who is often seen as the better marksman, couldn't rival. By now, whether he is the greatest is down to personal preference, but with 113 goal contributions in a calendar year, it certainly puts Messi in good stead for the GOAT debate.